Andrew, you had important information you wanted to share with us, right?
Yeah, I heard. If you hadn't heard, they announced Pokemon Snap 2.
That's
No fucking way.
no, I don't believe you. Until Pokemon Snap 2 has been directly injected into my ass by Nintendo, it's not real.
All right. Well, I understand your reservations, so that way. Anyways, I prepared their trailer for you, and I'm gonna watch it here.
Picasso is fine art. I'm the boss, throwing food, snapping nudes, a Badoo from a minecart. Hey Pikachu, let me take a peek at you. I'll take it to develop, that'll take a week or two. You playing peekaboo? I'll throw this thing at you. If you really shut a shot, my Jigglypuff will sing to you. Go back to the lab and develop it. My stacks looking fab wrapped in the cellophane. You don't approve of my red room process? It's a game where snapping you is harder than the Loch Ness. You a lame name rapper like a soldier boy. Boy, I'm the famed Ash Ketchum snapping Polaroids. Snap, snap, snap it, girl. 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 Aw, snap, Pokemon Snap. Take a step back, don't forget your lens cap. Snap, 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 snap. It's a Polaroid ride, shake it just like that. Like, aw, snap, Pokemon Snap. Take a step back, don't forget your lens cap. Snap, 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 snap. It's a Polaroid ride, shake it just like that. Like, welcome.
Huh.
Yeah.
Well, I guess seeing is believing, huh?
Yeah. Though.
That looked incredibly shopped. I noted the point where you put those random eyes all over the screen.
Yeah, just ignore those. That was censoring.
I think you made this up.
I admit I did apply a few edits here and there to attempt to make this more suitable for our audiences, because it had some things that we don't want to talk about on our channel in there.
Some unacceptable content.
Exactly.
Might be our namesake, and we're kind of angry about it. So I would like to thank you, Andrew, for taking the time to go through this and make it more appropriate for our channel, because this fits right into our next segment, which is going to be our demands for Pokemon Snap 2. So now that we've seen the trailer, we know what it's about. It's presumably going to be Pokemon Snap all over again. We've been waiting for this game for... God, how long, Max? How long have we been wanting Pokemon Snap 2 to come out?
More than 3 days.
Hundreds of years.
I mean, at least back when the GameCube came out, So, clearly, it's been way too long. We're finally getting Pokemon Snap 2. So while we have this platform from which we have Game Freak's undivided attention,
For sure.
I would like to take this opportunity to go ahead and tell them how they can make this game right, do their job for them, because evidently they're not good at doing their own jobs anymore. So I'll just cut right to the chase. The first demand for Pokemon Snap 2 is no abominations from Gen 5 at all, anywhere. Like, whatever the fuck these things are, get rid of them. Andrew, I love that you put the eyes over those. That was great. I could hardly tell that we had Afro Moose in the plains running around, because if I had looked over there for too long, I would have literally had an aneurysm. Seriously, Game Freak, you guys need to cut this shit out. Why would you make more work for yourself putting in substandard excuses for Pokemon when you could just copy paste a Pelipper in there? Like, I swear to God, if I see one fucking Darmanitan in this game at any point, I'm going to bust a vein. I'm talking if it's friggin' Galarian Darmanitan or regular Darmanitan or even like the silhouette of a Darmanitan just to like circumvent this requirement. No, none of that crap at all. If I see that kind of crap going on in this game, I am going to literally take my Nintendo Switch and throw it through the window of Game Freak's headquarters. We need to send them a message that if they're not willing to listen to us now, they better be willing to listen to us when we mean action. And, it's going to be difficult for me to throw my Switch into Game Freak's headquarters because Game Freak is all the way over in Tokyo. And as of, with COVID going on, I can't fly to Japan. I need to actually physically take my Switch and throw it over 5,000 miles across the Pacific Ocean and hit their window, which, if you crunch the numbers on that, not factoring in wind resistance, works out to be about 2,900 calories. And let's be real here. The wind will not resist for a cause this just. So this is totally doable. There's no wind resistance. 2,900 calories is the amount that I eat in a day. So I got this stuff from an energetic perspective.
But Clayton, you can't exert 2,900 calories in like a single arm motion. There's got to be like some formula to determine the amount of calories that can be exerted in like a single motion. Because I know you can't do it, but I know we could find what could.
You're right. I can't do it, but I think maybe one of our Pokemon friends can do it, because I've managed to work out a formula to convert number of calories you can exert in arm motion as a function of your attack stat in the Pokemon game. So since we already have those numbers, let's go ahead and take a look at some of the beefiest of boys in the Pokemon world to see who can get the job done. Let's start off first and foremost with my man, Machamp, the original best fighting type. Look at this guy. He definitely lifts. He doesn't skip leg day. He's good to do this. He's going to wind up his arm, chuck that switch, and unfortunately, he can't quite make it.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Machamp can exert just under 2,800 calories in a single arm motion, which means that I guess we could hit Wake Island, sink another couple of Japanese aircraft carriers just so they don't forget. But we can't actually get all the way to Tokyo with Japan, which means we're going to have to resort to the next beefy boy. We're talking about the strongest Pokemon in Gen 1, the OG Dragon, Yellow Barney himself. I'm talking about my man, Dragonite, in the house, who also can't do it.
Ah, shit.
Yeah,
Well,
So close.
which means
okay.
literally nobody in the first Pokemon game is capable of throwing a switch to Tokyo, which makes me sad because it feels like my entire childhood has been a lie. So, like,
Clayton,
I'm just wondering
I know you didn't stop there. You found something that could do it. So could you just share with us, even if it's not
Do
Gen
I
1,
have
share
to,
with us
Max?
something that can make
I
the
really
throw.
don't want to.
You have to. We are men of science here.
Okay, fine. Here it is.
Fuck no.
That's why I didn't want to share it.
Fuck that. I could run that bitch over with my car. In fact, Andrew, run it over with my car right now. Take that. You can't beat an Outback. My Outback could throw the fucking switch to Japan. Fuck you, you piece of shit Sandshrew ripoff.
All right, let's move off of the roadkill and on to our second demand for Pokemon Snap 2. Our second demand is, of course, that it becomes a Wii U exclusive. Because, think about the Switch. Think about how light it is. That feels like a tourist camera that takes shitty photos. Now imagine the heft of the Wii U. It feels like a real camera with 16 extra attachments that takes equally shitty photos. Come on, it also just makes sense. You have your TV, you have your gamepad, and then you can just use it and take pictures of the TV. It just makes sense. It just fits in perfectly. So I think this just has to happen. And then just to throw in our third demand really quick. If we couldn't get our boy in Smash, we're going to get him in Pokemon Snap 2. We have the rights, don't we, Max?
Yeah, we won the rights in a tennis match against Shigeru Miyamoto.
Yeah.
I remember that tennis match, Max. That was
Clutch.
Good times.
Yeah, it was the last happy day of my life. So we've got a couple other demands. And the first one, I think, Nintendo's done a lot of fun things with the Mario franchise where they make these spin-off games. And some of them have done really well, like Mario Kart and Mario Party are their own franchises now. But other Mario spin-offs didn't go anywhere. Like your Mario is Missings, your Dr. Marios, or your Yoshi Safari. And I think that Yoshi Safari is a great concept to bring to a Pokemon Snap game. So I would love if we could have Pokemon Safari. No, not that Pokemon Safari, Andrew. There we go. Perfect. I believe that for the Wii U version of Pokemon Snap, there should be a Pokemon Safari minigame in it that is only compatible with the Super Nintendo game's Super Scope. Now, some of you may be asking, Max, how will you plug a Super Scope into a Wii U? And to that I say, don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. Now, Clayton, this is where I'm going to say something sacrilegious. Are you ready?
I'll try to brace myself.
So your demand about Gen 5 Pokemon not being included in Pokemon Snap 2.
Yeah, it's just common sense from a health and safety
I
standpoint.
disagree with that demand.
Choose your next words carefully.
I firmly believe that the Pokemon Safari minigame, where again you break into the Safari Zone and hunt Pokemon, should be done with exclusively Gen 5s. You just go around.
Oh yeah, no, like shooting them's fine.
Yeah, no, you shoot them, you kill them, you can eat the meat, whatever you want to do.
Oh, fantastic. The only thing that should be done with Gen 5 Pokemon, getting rid of them.
And this idea, it really takes me back to that one hunting trip that we went on a while ago, where it was just, you, me, Andrew, Waluigi, the hunter from Left 4 Dead, and of course, Reggie Fils-Aimé. Now, I know what you're saying. Max, how did you go hunting with Reggie Fils-Aimé? And remember earlier when we mentioned that tennis game that we played against Shigeru Miyamoto for the rights to Waluigi? That was a doubles tennis match. And the other person in the game against Clayton and I was Reggie Fils-Aimé, who promised his undying friendship to us if he lost. And he did, so we got it. And part of that contractual obligation was he went hunting Superior with us in the African savannah. And in those 3 beautiful days we spent with the Reginator, we learned some very pivotal Reggie facts that I believe we must share with all of you.
Yes.
So now we are going to present to you 3 previously unknown Reggie facts.
Yes. 3 previous unknown, incredibly important facts about the man, the myth, the legend, Reggie Fils-Aimé himself. Fact number 1 is that his body is always ready. Now, before anyone pipes up and says, seriously, Clayton, that meme is so old. And I know you guys, basically just copy-paste old memes. Just as your modus operandi, that's all your panels are, which we agree with you there.
Yeah, they're not wrong.
This is not something we're sharing for the old meme status. This is something we're sharing because I don't think you understand how completely and literally true this is. Back after we bagged that Superior, we got back to the hotel suite. A bunch of us decided to crash for the night. Reggie went into his room. Max climbed up into his hammock on the ceiling. I don't know why he did that. It was kind of a weird sleeping arrangement, but we made it work. And I decided that it would be a great idea to sneak into Reggie's room so I could whisper sweet nothings into his ear while he slept. And, trying to do that, by the time I was able to jerry-rig the doorknob open, I could see on the other side he was already staring at me with, he was wearing a full suit and tie and everything. Eating. I don't understand how, honestly. I could have sworn I heard him snoring from the other side of the door while I was messing with that doorknob. Yet, instantaneously, there he was, suit and tie, ready to go.
He was ready.
He was ready. I was not ready for him being ready. It was rather embarrassing.
All right. And let's talk about our second Reggie fact. So we all know that Reggie is the peak of human form. So he has to snack on something that is the most energy-dense snack in the world. And yes, I'm of course talking about almonds. He loves almonds. He was always eating almonds. When we broke into his room, sitting there staring at us, eating almonds. Hunting Superior, eating almonds. Taken for that picture, eating almonds.
Where did he even get the almonds?
I don't know.
I swear, California is 80% of the world almond production, and Reggie eats 80% of California's almond production. He is the #1 almond importer in the world. But number 3, and this was something that we had to get Reggie really drunk to tell us. And I would like to note, it is damn near impossible to get Reggie drunk.
This man used to work at Guinness, and it shows.
On the Safari, we replaced his water with vodka cut with rubbing alcohol. He didn't even notice we replaced it, and it took him the entire day to get drunk. But he did get drunk. And in his drunken stupor, Reggie admitted to us to something very personal and very private, and that was that Reggie has never played a Nintendo game in his life. In fact, at the E3 presentations where Reggie is playing games, that's not him. That's a crisis actor. Normally Alex Jones, because Alex Jones is the only man in the crisis actor business, but that's who's doing it. Reggie is hiring Alex Jones to play Wii Sports on a stage. In fact, the only video game Reggie has ever played was Genji Days of the Blade for PS3, and that was a game tester to test the authenticity of the character's ability to hit the crab in its weak point for maximum damage. And why would they consult Reggie for that? That was, of course, because, little known fact, the hit anime Inuyasha is not actually an anime. It's a documentary about Reggie Fils-Aimé, wherein he was a wolf demon in feudal Japan, visited by a girl named Kagome, who he then trapped in the past so he could travel to our present and take over the world, and god damn it, he's doing a fantastic job at it. Demand number whatever we're on. I want a portable version of Pokemon Snap 2. No, not that shit. It's not for the phone.
Okay, here we go.
What does this look like? Fucking Pokemon Go? I want it for the Game Boy Color. Thank you, Andrew.
There we go.
Now, Pokemon Snap 2 will obviously be a big game. We can't fit it on a cartridge. So that means that instead we're going to have it be downloadable onto the Game Boy camera attachment entirely. So this will be the first example of DLC for the Game Boy Color. What you're going to have to do is take your Game Boy Color, put the Game Boy camera in it, and then put your Game Boy Color's IR sensor up to whatever the fuck is going to output IR. And that is how you're going to download the patch onto your Game Boy camera to allow you to finally play Pokemon Snap 2 for the Game Boy Color. And it will,
you're actually going to download it through the IR sensor bar that the Wii U normally uses for Wii remotes.
Oh, thank you. I didn't figure it out yet. I was just hoping someone would. But this will, of course, be available in beautifully rendered 4K HD 3D graphics on the Game Boy Color, you know, as the Game Boy Color is perfectly capable. However, there were a few hardware limitations, so the game will be in black and white. Now, another thing we're going to do, because there's so much potential in the Game Boy Color that hasn't been fully utilized, so we're going to allow Pokemon Snap 2 to be hook-upable to the Game Boy printer. And this will allow you to finally print out those beautiful photos that you take on the Game Boy camera of Pichu hanging out with a football hooligan. And if you don't have a Game Boy printer, that's all right. We are also going to bring back the Pokemon Snap kiosks. They will be available at your local Blockbuster. I know there's only one local Blockbuster, and it's in Bend, Oregon, so a lot of people are going to go there, and there's going to be a huge line. But that's okay, because that's part of one of our ulterior motives here, which is, of course, to bring back LionCon. Fils-Aimé, you thought you could fucking get rid of LionCon by just, like, standardizing your fucking making badge process streamline? You idiots, LionCon was the best part. It's not Fils-Aimé unless I spend 6 hours sitting on the floor in the Marriott waiting to get my ticket so I can spend 3 hours waiting to see Midnight Madness. Fuck you. I want LionCon back. Ulterior motive number 2. I mean, sorry. Demand, whatever. Next point. Pokemon Snap 2, as we've gone over, is going to be utilizing the Wii U, the Super Nintendo Super Scope, the Game Boy Color, the Game Boy Camera, and the Game Boy Printer. So this is going to bring into demand a lot of classic video game hardware, and there's a reason for this. In the age of coronavirus, we are facing an economic recession. And the only way to get out of an economic recession is a stimulus package. And I believe the best stimulus package is one that encourages the purchase of secondhand video game markets. So, by utilizing these previously considered dead video game components, we're going to encourage the free selling and trading of Game Boy Colors, Pockets, etc. Is this just a conspiracy for me to get $50 for a Game Boy camera I'm trying to sell instead of the $5 it's actually worth? Probably. But you know what? Fuck you. I don't care. I want the money. Next demand. I want more nostalgia. Sure, it opened up with that scene of the Pikachu eating the apple. That's cute and all, but that's not enough. I need more. More, damn it. We need it. Next slide, Andrew. We need the nostalgia. So, not only are we going to demand that Pokemon Snap 2 have built into the game Pokemon Snap 1 playable in the original N64 engine, but I'm going to demand that Pokemon Snap 2 is also playable in the original GameCube graphics, as we know it was made 18 years ago. So we can finally play it in our childhood like we wanted.
To be fair, Max, have you seen how Pikachu's mouth is literally spray painted on? I feel like they already are using GameCube graphics.
No, they're using Pokemon Sword Shield graphics. Those are worse.
Oh, shit, you're right. PS2.
Those are like, yeah. No, that's PS1 shit, my friend.
Oh, God.
Okay, I think that was all of our demands, right,
Yeah,
guys?
I think we just
Yeah.
need Game Freak to listen to us on this one, and Pokemon Snap 2 will be golden.
We know you're our third stream viewer, Game Freak. Do it.